To get the call that I was going to have my first shoe, it was definitely like the zenith of like a skateboarder's career up until that point. They were exactly what I wanted them to be, which was a really versatile skate shoe for a really cheap price. I think they were 65 bucks. To break them in, I used to stick them underneath the tires of my car and just roll over them. And it would like, there's like a hardener here and in the sidewalls, which is like really good for keeping a shoe, like keeping the shape. But when you want that board feel, smash it. I really wanted a toe cap to prolong the tear through, and difference back then, you see this toe isn't very long. It's a very short toe. And that's where like skateboarding shoes have changed so much with board feel and stuff like that, but that's a huge giveaway of a shoe being old, is that short toe. So this was my second shoe. This is the Ripper. This was the all black Skater of the Year colorway. This was basically the slimmed down, like durable, cheap skate shoe. I really wanted to get it to the middle class and lower that could actually afford it and wanted to skate, and that's where I came from. So that's what I wanted to do. It took me a day or two to get them to flick, and then once they did, they were great. And what I would do is I would alternate from this one, from the Ripper to the Trooper every year. So I'd do a full year with the Trooper, and then I'd do a year with the Ripper, and then I'd do a year with the Trooper, and then a year with the Ripper. And it just so happened to be like that, or like somewhere close to that, like 6 months of the same thing. This is my third shoe. This is the High Vault. I really wanted to do a mid because Jeff Rowley had a mid that I thought was really cool, and the half cab has always been such a staple and such an amazing shoe, and the Skate High was like one of the all-time best looking shoes ever. And I was like, okay, well, everybody that does a mid-top bites a half cab and they just try to bite it and then put their logo on it. And that's not what we wanted to do. So we tried to change it up. And this is a shoe that I actually never wore. I never skated in. I don't think we ever perfected it. We never got it right. It didn't sell very well. And so it was kind of like a swing and a miss. But at least we didn't bite a half cab. When I first got on DC, it was basically, known that I was going to do it, but I had to wait till my contract was out and I was released from Fallen to be on DC. And so we had to plan very quickly of what we were going to do, because I really wanted to get something on the shoe wall at skate shops as soon as humanly possible. Dylan at DC and Wallace at DC, both awesome dudes. They had a shoe that was basic, that was as basic as can be, much like this. And they were like, well, we could do tweaks to the shoe and then we'd be able to get it out because we've already sampled it. We would just be doing minor tweaks. And I was like, okay, that sounds perfect. My favorite version of the Cole S, and it was a special edition canvas shoe. We call it the Mummy, and we use this aged yellow gummish sort of feel, and it just really matched the tone and the Mummy approach to it. And then they actually changed the insole art to have a mummy on it. When we designed the Light shoe, the Cole Light, we took a lot of the ideas behind this. For instance, most of the shape of it. I mean, we did change the shape in the last, but I think it's ever so slight. This part of the last was wider in the Cole S, and this thing spiked more here and carved in more. With the grip in here, we tried to make it big enough to fit your your BMX pedal pegs into, or pins into, so that your foot doesn't slip when I was riding my bike. That was just like an extra little thing that I liked to focus on, and luckily they did for me. With this one, I didn't have to tell them every little detail about the shoe that I wanted. I told them to make it fast. I wanted a shoe to look really fast, and they came up with this. And it is perfect. And if you see how they made it fast, is they angled the logo. And then all the lines go like that, which made the shoe look really fast. And I was really stoked on that. Yeah, so this is a special colorway of the Cole White that never saw the light of day. And I skated in it, and I had like 2 or 3 pairs that I skated in, and this is the pair that will never be skated. This is the G.I. Joe Tiger Force boat I took this from. I thought it would be incredible to like even further, like I want skate shoes to look different, like print all over that thing. But check out that insole. Sales were like, God, I don't know, dude. Like that one might not end up selling. And so this thing never saw the light of day. This is the Cole White 2, and it's my best shoe to date. I was a huge fan of Action, and actually skated for them when I was younger, and they were some of my favorite shoes. And Kareem Campbell has always had the most incredible pro models. I really wanted to take inspiration from, but not copy, what he did with Action in this shoe, while still pulling from my Cole White 1. And the dudes at DC did that. They did it amazing. It also is built in a built-in sock, like the tongue. The tongue is built through the shoe. So the tongue comes out here, but it stitches in right on the side, stitches right here, and it stitches to all of this. Now, when you put your foot into this shoe, it feels like it's part of your foot. What happened was I skated these one time and then went back to skating normal shoes that are built without the sock liner, and they felt like they were on my foot and not part of my foot. This shoe, I put it on and it felt like it was part of my foot. It felt like it was like my shoe avatar. You know, it was like an extension of me and my actual foot movements. It would just do what I was doing. And it was a trip. It was, I couldn't go back to skating anything else. And like the early Action catalogs, like 98 catalog and stuff, the whole thing is just filled with awesome designs, whole thing. So I look at those and like in my brain, I'd love to have them, but there's no sense in physically owning them, because now they look like they're this fat, like they're just these humongous D3 looking like bricks of a shoe. And if updated and the same like mindset is made to make a new shoe, then it ends up looking like this.